Hello and welcome to qualifying for the Kennel GT Endurance Cup. We're here at Paul Ricard and the car's already out on track, getting the fastest times in for the first part of qualifying. And it is Jean-Paul Bagné at the moment who is leading the way with 9 minutes left on the clock here. And times starting to tumble in. Jean-Paul Bagné, who won obviously the UCS 1 championship overall last year, is leading the way as it stands today too. So lots of new names obviously on the grid. One that you will know pretty well, of course, is Jean-Paul Bagné. And the first part of qualifying then underway. Romain Favre is currently out there as well, has been taking part in this championship as well last year. So as it stands, car number 1, which is the current reigning champions, are in the pit. Jean-Paul Bagné setting the fastest fastest middle sector. I'm not sure the graphics are currently lining up with the timing screen at the moment, because it is Jean-Paul Bagné leading the way in UCS 1 in the Ferrari. Car number 1, Olivier Gomez, is second as it stands at the moment in UCS 1 in car number 22. And Thiago Monteiro third and leading the way in the Porsche class. So 7 minutes left on the clock. And at the moment, leading the way is Jean-Paul Bagné, car number 1. So, ooh. Of course, he will be with Jean-Bernard Bouvier, who has also been alongside them. And they've got Romain Iniesta, who is more recently been taking part in GT4 European Series. He's the nephew of the Le Mans racers, Alain Iniesta, as well. And Jean-Paul Bagné obviously winning last time round. Yes, there is some speeding in the pit lane under investigation out there for car number 20. Which is currently down in 13th, which is Philippe Papin. So obviously didn't put his pit limiter on correctly as he came into the pit lane. Olivier Gomez then sets the fastest time of 2:05.109 to push Jean-Paul Bagné down to third as it stands. And he wasn't the fastest lap overall. He was down in the first sector and had 2 good moments in the second and the third on the 4th lap here with just under 6 minutes left to go. Stéphane Lemerouet is in second at the moment in UCS 2. And still leading the way for the Porsches is Thiago Monteiro in 4th. Fastest middle sector coming again from Jean-Paul Bagné at this point. That there is car number 17. RR Racing by Racetivity. And at the moment on that one is Regis Rego de Sebes. Olivier Martinez then here on the left-hand side in the Alpine, joining us again. The bronze driver at the moment sitting down in at the moment, quite far down actually, in 18th. Took me a moment to see. So Jean-Paul Pagnay, as you saw on the right-hand side of your screen, then still in the pit lane at the moment, as is Olivier Gomez leading the way with the time of a 2:05.109. So these drivers obviously know the track incredibly well. Many of them were only here a couple of months ago for the finale of the championship last year. For the GT Endurance Championship then it was called, but now it's the Kennel GT Endurance Cup. And we're seeing quite a few people in the pits at the moment. Car number 99 then on the right side of the screen, currently in the pits as well, not on first page of the timing screen. It would be, I think it's car number 98 actually, which could be Mark Jacob in the pit lane. They'll all kind of come in and out over the next couple of moments anyway, as they get ready to set their flying laps. 3 minutes left to go. Most cars out on track apart from 4 cars at the moment, including the leading car, Olivier Gomez, in UCS 1. And at the moment, Stéphane Lemeret is on a very fast lap. Fastest first sector, fastest second sector. That's car number 37, then UCS 2. And currently on a very fast lap at the moment. And a brilliant first sector actually, of a 32.169, which is taking them straight to the top of the timing screen with a 2:03.728. So that's nearly 2 seconds quicker than the fastest time of Olivier Gomez. So that's pretty impressive. Just under 2 seconds, a 1.3 faster than Olivier Gomez in the UCS 1. So the UCS 2 car takes the lead at the moment with Stéphane Lemeret, the bronze driver at the wheel, car number 37. This one we're looking at right now. And that was a blistering time from Stéphane Lemeret. So we'll head down to the pit lane very shortly to hear from Alexandre, who is bringing us all of the action from the pit lane today. Chris Stevens will be joining me very shortly as well in the commentary box to bring you all of the action from the next part of qualifying too. But at the moment is Stéphane Lemeret, who is leading the way with a 2:03.728.
Je suis en compagnie de Benjamin Nissen. Benjamin, on a l'habitude de vous voir sur une BMW. Cette année, c'est une Porsche Cup. Comment se passe cette transition?
C'est vrai, pour moi, la Porsche est une première. Mais bon, je me suis fait assez vite à la voiture. J'ai conduit pas mal de voitures dans ma carrière. Donc, bon, ici, l'adaptation, c'est vrai qu'elle était fort différente avec le moteur avant sur la BMW. Ici, le moteur en porte-à-faux arrière. Mais voilà, j'aime beaucoup la voiture. Elle est assez facile à prendre en main. Et je pense que mes équipiers sont d'accord avec ça aussi.
On sait que vous coachez Régis et Daniel. Votre entente se passe toujours à merveille comme les années précédentes?
Je pense, oui, sinon je ne serais pas là.
Merci Benjamin.
Alexandre in the pit lane then, bringing us the interviews. Obviously that one in French because quite a lot of people on this bill are French drivers. A couple of them aren't. There's a South African and some Germans as well on the grid. So hopefully we'll be able to bring you all the action. So you can see right in front of you there, the clock has ticked down. Checkered flag is out then, and it's Stéphane Lemeret who sets the fastest time of a 2:03.728 in the UCS 2 class. And that is the fastest time of the first part of qualifying. Olivier Gomez in second, Thiago Monteiro down in third, leading the way for the Porsche class, and Jean-Paul Pagnay is in fourth. Ulrich Almado is second in the Porsche class, the silver driver out there at the moment. But as most people peel into the pit lane, That is UCS1's Philippe Bonnel making their way into the pit lane in the Vortex. And it'll be interesting to see what Vortex can do this year, because last year they very much used the championship and last year out to do some testing, really, to try and see if they can get new performance in the Vortex. So they were slightly unreliable throughout the whole of last season, so hopefully they've picked up some of the gremlins and Vortex can have a bit of a better season than last time out. So second part of qualifying will be taking place very shortly. Chris Stevens is back in the in the commentary box, but I'm giving him a moment to catch his breath because he's just run all the way from the podium back here in a marathon-style sprint to get back into the commentary box to bring you the second part of qualifying. That is the Vortex then, car number 21, with Philippe Bonnel at the wheel as it stands at the moment. Chris Stevens joins us then. How are you doing? How was that bit of a sprint for you?
Yeah, it was a little bit. You know what it's like when you've not been at a racetrack for 6 months, so you haven't done any steps.
Yes.
Well, since we were last here.
Yeah, true.
Oh, it's more like 5 months, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I got a bit more out of shape over the winter than I care to admit.
You look
We're
great.
going to do something about that.
Well, that's why I ran you over there.
Yeah, thanks for that.
Well, you didn't miss much, don't worry. There was a blistering lap in the UCS2 class. Yeah, it's been pretty good, pretty chill.
Yeah, so are these the cars making their way back from the end of Q1, I
Yes.
assume still? Yes, okay. Well, it's taken them a while to get back. Yeah, so the CMR Lamborghini Super Trail, the sole UCS2 car in this field, setting the pace early doors. Stéphane Lemeret will do Q3 as well then, by the looks of it. Rodrigue Guillon in for Q2, and then Stéphane retaking the car over for Q3. To be a corner marshal worker at turn 3, you must be doing the same job over and over again, because that bollard sure takes a hammering.
Yeah. I didn't see anyone knock into it, actually, though, so interesting. I think some people just catch it with their rear wheel sometimes when they're just heading across.
That's a very diplomatic way of putting it. Pretty sure a lot of people aim for it.
Just whack into it.
Yes, quite. Yeah, you know, you're speaking about the vortexes.
Yes.
There, of course, the new Vortex Challenge has been introduced for this weekend, sort of separate subclass specifically for the vortexes, and they've promised to introduce some sort of high-profile and celebrity drivers throughout the season. And incidentally, as well, there is the sort of Alpine Endurance Challenge, specifically amongst the Alpine runners as well, which effectively at the moment is the UCS 4 category, because all of the UCS 4s entered for this weekend are the Alpine A110 Cup. But if we do get other UCS 4 cars, then it would be treated as a sort of separate subcategory.
I was also talking about the Vortexes being very much a foundation year last year. They had a few niggles here and there, didn't they? And hopefully this season we should see a bit more consistency. They used both their cars, I think it was 2 cars there last year, that they used as almost like a trial, and they had quite a few niggles throughout the races, and they had good pace and good performance, but reliability caught them out a little bit, and just in general, I think mostly reliability, I think, caught them out, didn't it?
Quite. Third year of the Vortex 2.0 now, and you would say, oh well, by year 2 you should have all the problems sorted out. But you know, Vortex, it's not Ford. You know, it's not.
Yeah, it's a much smaller team.
Big. It's not a big manufacturer. It's a quite a small marque here in France. So trying to get those cars produced and also work on the reliability problems as well. Yeah, because I think it was the first 3 races of the season that they didn't even finish.
Yes.
Last year, which was quite something, but then did rather sort of roar into life with the really great fight with the Get Speed Mercedes in Mugello, and then finally coming away with that victory in Magny-Cours. First Ultimate Cup victory for the 2.0, whereas the first win anywhere came in at 6 hours of Abu Dhabi in the Middle Eastern Trophy earlier in that year. And new colours on the number 20 as well, the red and black car, which is no longer the one driven by the Gomez brothers. They've moved over to the 22, but is the one that the reigning Formula Cup champion Enzo Richer will be driving this weekend. He is going to be a busy boy because he's also doing the European Endurance Prototype Cup as well. So, yeah, he's going to have an awful lot of work under his plate. Right, the number 21 Vortex and the number 18 drive-in Porsche Cup car are currently under investigation for entering the fast lane before they should have done. So
je suis en compagnie de Frédéric de Brabant. Frédéric, vous venez de faire la Q1. Vous êtes satisfait du résultat?
Écoutez, oui, je crois. On n'est jamais entièrement satisfait parce que je fais un 2.18.0. On aurait bien aimé passer en 2.17.9 ou 2.17.8. Mais je crois que ça met P1 de la catégorie. Voilà, on pose les bases pour préparer la course avec mon équipier.
Et puis la bonne nouvelle, c'est qu'il y a une autre séance pour vous. D'ici un quart d'heure, là, il y a Luca qui est en piste sur la Q3. Ce sera l'occasion d'aller sous les 2.18.
On va essayer. Là, on était sur le jus du pneu, donc on va voir ce qui reste. Mais je pense qu'il en reste dans le pilote, donc on va essayer d'aller le chercher en dessous des 2.18. Ça serait cool. Ouais.
Parlez-nous un petit peu de Luca, un jeune pilote qu'on a connu ici en Ultimate Cup l'année dernière lors de la finale et qui a brillé cet hiver aux Émirats notamment, et avec qui vous allez faire équipage cette année.
Oui, tout à fait. Avec qui j'étais aux Émirats. On a déjà roulé ensemble. C'est pour préparer la saison. Moi, j'adore parce qu'il apporte la fraîcheur, voilà, du jeune qui arrive, et puis avec une pointe de vitesse qui est un peu supérieure à la mienne. Donc, pour moi, c'est génial parce que moi, je peux l'apporter un peu d'expérience, et puis lui, en termes de vitesse pure, va pouvoir me tirer vers le haut. Donc, je pense que ça peut être bénéfique pour les deux.
Merci, Fred.
Merci à vous.
Yeah, those 2 cars under investigation. It's Lauren De La Salle and Shaipur Harpal aboard those 2 cars. But let's turn our attention to the lap times. 2 purple sectors coming in from Enzo Richer, currently on his first flying lap out there. Aboard the number 20 Vortex. These are the reigning champions in GT Endurance Cup overall. The number 1 Vision car, Jean-Paul Pani and Jean-Bernard Bouvet, winning yet another title together. And it's Romain Iannetta who stands in for David Hallyday during this weekend. And it's Iannetta currently at the wheel of the car, 5-time Le Mans 24-hour starter, nephew of Alain Iannetta, who also raced at Le Mans. We saw Romain standing in for David at both Hockenheim and Paul Ricard, the final round.
Someone to look out for on the grid, which I'm quite excited to see that he's back in it now, is Enzo Richer in second place. He won the Ultimate Formula Cup Championship last year in dramatic style at the end in Paul Ricard here. He's probably got good memories of this track, and currently behind the wheel of the UCS1 car number 20. This is once again the 2024 champions, car number 1, who is currently Romain Iannetta.
I saw Enzo yesterday, and because he's on double duties this week, also racing for Lamo in the European Endurance Prototype Cup, and he did a little bit of damage to the front of the number 17 Nova, and doing his typical thing of being too hard on himself. Remember how he was last year in Formula Cup? Even when he won the title, he was annoyed he didn't win the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he will have taken that one too hard, but currently running strong at the moment. Fastest car as it stands, Louis Rousset in the number 7 to be Autosport car, but sounds like we're going to go back down to pit lane and Alexandre Urbine.
Je suis avec l'une des figures emblématiques de l'Ultimate Cup, Pierre Martinet. Pierre, année après année, vous êtes toujours là et 2025 ne fait pas exception.
Oui, ben, il y a voilà quelques années, depuis qu'il a démarré Ultimate, je suis là, oui. Et ma foi, on vieillit aussi et bon, je suis le doyen, mais bon, je suis encore là et je me fais plaisir.
Pierre says he is really happy. He's the oldest driver of the category, but he takes a lot of pleasure, so he is really happy. Pierre, vous avez encore votre compère de toujours, Gérard Tremblay, avec qui vous formez toujours un joli équipage avec un pro, c'est Enzo Julier ce week-end. C'est avoir toujours votre ami et un pro qui tire un peu la voiture, ça fait plaisir.
Oui, mais non seulement ça, c'est aussi de donner des heures de conduite à des jeunes pros, et donc ils ont tant besoin. Et donc, ça leur apprend à rouler, ça leur met de l'entraînement. Et c'est d'être de compétition, d'endurance, c'est quand même une bonne chose.
It's really important for drivers like Enzo Julier to do a lot of laps, a lot of different categories and endurance races before to go back to sprint races like Carrera Cup. And it's always a pleasure for him to share the car with young drivers. Merci Pierre, on vous souhaite une bonne course.
Merci, bonne journée.
Pierre Martinet, oldest driver in the field, being joined by Gerard Tremblay and Enzo Julie this weekend. And it is currently Gerard Tremblay at the wheel of the number 71 car. Enzo Julie, one of the exciting talents coming through Porsche Carrera Cup France through the Martinet by Almaras team. French GT4 champion in the Toyota Supra a couple of years ago. Just made the switch over from GT4 competition up to the Cup car. With GP Racing, another of the very familiar Porsche teams. To the Kennel GT Endurance Cup. Romain Ionetta to the top of the times. By 2.5 seconds in the Ferrari 488, ahead of Enzo Richer now. So 201.4. Bit of traffic on this lap, trying to round up the Netsuv Racing Porsche. Less than 7 minutes to go now, and it is Romain Ionetta from Enzo Richer, and then fastest the Porsche Cup runners, Louis Rousset and Sébastien Loeb in the number 98 GP Racing team car. Sébastien Loeb racing with his partner this weekend, Laurine Gaudy. They met through rallying. She was Sébastien's co-driver for many years. They won the Rally du Vent and the Azores Rally together, and she's also driven for Sébastien's race team in the French GT4 Championship. This is Louis Rousset in pit lane. This is the car that won the Porsche Cup Championship last year with Yan Pen-Lu and Olivier Favre. Olivier Favre's back in that lineup for this year alongside son Roman, who did a park campaign. But we also saw him out in Inter-Europol competition's LMP3 car for the last 2 rounds alongside Ian Aguilera.
Not to be confused with Christina. That's my input for that one.
Absolutely. But now you've said that,
It's going to, yeah.
it's going to happen.
You're going to say Christina Aguilera by accident?
Yeah, next time I see him. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Maybe he's the dad of Christina and we just didn't know all this time.
Son of Christina, surely.
Oh, is he younger?
He's a wee baby boy. By
Wee baby boy.
by comparison, yeah.
Well, Christina's a lot, anyway. We digress.
Yes. So Romain Favre, back part of that lineup with Louis Rousset, another of the midget France champions. In fact, consecutive champions. Louis Rousset won it in 2021. Romain won it in 2022. Louis winning it with the VPS racing team, of course, the Mathieu Vaxivière and Aurélien Panis run outfit. Getting very well acquainted with Porsche Cup machinery through Carrera Cup France and the Porsche Super Cup last year with the Martinet by Almaras team. Which of the Vortexes is that currently in pit lane? Number 22.
22, yeah.
22, like Taylor Swift. So Arnaud Gomez.
How many
We're getting all the singers in this one.
Yeah.
Shame because we haven't got David Hallyday with us. Yellow flags out at turn 5. I wonder if this was the culprit, because those yellow flags have been rescinded. The number 10 Porsche from Mirage Racing, who is currently driving that car, Jean-Jacques Hardy, 44-year-old Frenchman. I wonder if he was the cause of those brief yellows out at turn 5. Either way, Jean-Jacques is back on his way.
Louis, vous êtes le premier à rentrer dans la pit lane. Vous avez fait un très joli temps que vous met pour l'instant en première place de la catégorie Porsche Cup. L'idée, c'était quoi, de rentrer parce qu'on ne pouvait pas faire mieux?
Ouais, c'est ça. C'est surtout quand on met un train pour la qualif, de vraiment économiser les pneus pour Romain qui va prendre la voiture low fuel. Donc je suis sûr qu'il peut faire quelque chose de bien. Et on a la chance d'être 2 pilotes silver avec Olivier. Donc on espère scorer le meilleur temps possible pour les qualifs.
They come back to the pit lane earlier to manage their tires, and he's sure that Romain will be fast with during the last qualification, and they hope to do a good result. Louis, vous connaissez très bien Romain, vous allez travailler avec lui tout au long de l'année dans un autre championnat sur une autre voiture. Qu'est-ce que ça fait de le retrouver là, ici, en amont de cette saison européenne?
C'est génial parce que nous, le gros de notre saison, ça va être la Le Mans Cup le week-end prochain. Donc déjà, de pouvoir rouler ensemble et de jauger tous les deux, c'est super et ça crée des bonnes ententes. Et voilà, en plus, ça a l'air de bien marcher. Alors, on va voir ce que ça va donner ce week-end.
It's a pleasure to share the car with Romain because next week they will be in Le Mans Cup in Barcelona to start their season in LMP3. And it's good to have good link with Romain before the start of their main program. Merci Louis, on vous souhaite bonne chance pour la suite de la qualification et à demain pour la course.
Merci, avec plaisir. À demain.
God, he's talented, isn't he?
He is good, our Alex,
Speaking
isn't he?
French and then seamlessly going into English and remembering everything you said. Thank you so much for doing that, so we can at least understand what is going on out there. It's much appreciated. Can't speak today, which is good in our line of work, isn't it?
Less than 2 minutes on the clock. And CMR Ginetta getting a little bit held up there by one of the Porsche Cup cars.
I think it's car number 17.
Yes, it is, which is the RR Racing by Racetivity car. Currently being driven by one of their bronze drivers, Reggie-Rigo de Seb. So that was the L'Espace Bienvenu BMW last year, a rebrand of the Racetivity run team. And also a change of car for Reggie-Rigo de Seb, Daniel Wazinski and Benjamin Lessenes. The top 6 currently are all in pit lane, and Rodrigue Guillon currently doesn't look like he's going to improve on his 206.2 in 7th position.
So Triple 8.
Yeah, Seb Lejeune car here. Looks like, well, no tyres on it, so they're definitely done.
Well, Seb Lejeune also getting out of the car, so hopefully we can hear from Seb Lejeune shortly as well. He had a few gremlins as well last season in this championship. Let's hear from... Unfortunately, might not be able to hear from Sébastien Loeb. He's done a runner.
Oh.
That's what they do in the pit lane. Honestly, if you lose a driver and you can't see them in that pit lane, they're gone forever.
It's not helped here as well because there are those handy little air-conditioned rooms at the back of these garages, which I do thoroughly enjoy, but they are also making our life a little bit difficult.
Makes my job incredibly hard. They've got new overalls in the Sébastien Loeb, as we see the checkered flag then out. Top 6 were in the pit lane anyway, so not much has changed really.
Yeah, and Romain Ionetta fastest then in Q2 at 2:01.435. Enzo Rigier second fastest in the number 20 Vortex. Louis Brousset third and best of the Porsche Cup runners ahead of Sébastien Loeb. That is something to put on your CV, isn't it? Out-qualified Sébastien Loeb.
What for Enzo?
No, for Louis in the same class of car.
Porsche.
Arnaud Gomez, 5th fastest, 3rd of the UCS1 runners, and then Anthony Beltois, 3rd of the Porsche Cup runners out there. In the Alpine Endurance Challenge, as we see the 123 car, Luca Degrange, the only silver class driver in UCS4 for this weekend, so unsurprisingly fastest in that session aboard the 123 car he shares with Frederic de Brabant, gentleman class champion of the Alpine Elf Cup series. In that number 123 car, which has been rewrapped for this season.
Smart looking, isn't it?
It looks great.
Yeah, it does look
with
really good.
The branding colours on there as well, the blue and pink, which I know because it's BWT associated, which is so now closely associated with the Formula One team. Yeah. Sort of becoming the brand colours of Alpine as well, by the looks of it as well. And that's a cracking looking race car, that is. As is that.
There's a lot of pink in the pit lane, actually.
I was thinking this earlier. There's just a lot of bright colours about.
Yeah, got a lot of time for it.
Yeah.
A lot of time for it.
Very nice. Last car's just getting back to the pits. In fact, the only car still out there is the 123 Luca Degrange car. I have a feeling there's a V10 out there as well, because I can still hear one, and that our driver tracker is lying to me at the moment.
Well, it depends how many. It might be more than 19 out there. How many cars were on the grid?
18.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is strange then.
Yeah. No, I think there's just the Super Trofeo getting back to the pits still. Unless they put a V10 in the Alpine Cup car, and that's the Alpine GT4 Plus after the Plus was introduced last year. Debuted in this this series at the end of last year, and now officially homologated. So that will be in GT4 competition in France for sure. I don't remember off the top of my head if it's going to be competing in Europe. The final sessions to come. Will be the third and final drivers to take over.
Q3 is going to start at 12 minutes past, so we've got a couple of moments before that gets underway. And all the cars will line up at the pit lane again, ready to get this final part of qualifying underway. Go on.
I'm thinking, I know we had this potential debate last year, and I can't remember if this only applied to UCS1 or if it didn't apply to UCS1. But the number 18 Mirage Porsche had Thiago Monteiro in the car for the first session, then Shaipur Harpal in for the second one, who's the bronze driver. Does he not need to do 2 bronze sessions and can't do them back to back? So I'm going to go ahead and assume that that is the rule that applies to UCS1 and not the other categories. Otherwise, Mirage has, driving has fallen afoul of that rule. I seem to remember having a very similar debate last year.
Yes, I do half remember that as well. And the rules are slightly different for each category, aren't they? Of if you've got silver, bronze, or gold drivers in the car. And you'd think the teams kind of look specifically at what they need, but everyone can be everyone can make a mistake. Maybe a costly one if it is a mistake. But cars then will start peeling into the pit lane exit to start qualifying, which was due to get underway in about 20 seconds time. Well, no, actually, my maths was wrong there. 40 seconds time. My maths still wrong?
40 seconds time.
Yeah, okay. We're going specifically to the dot.
And it is the number 21 Vortex that has won the race to the end of pit lane. So who qualified that? Was it Philippe Bonnell who did
Bonnell
Q1?
did the first one.
And then we had Delassin, I think. So it should be Philippe Burel in this last part of qualifying.
Keen to get out first is the Vortex. It was car number 21 that was at the end of the pit lane as well for the start of Q2. So keen to get some clean running out there.
There they are. We have the green flag at the end of pit lane. The 22 following the sister Vortex out of pit lane as well. The Seb Ligier car, the 888 2B Autosport. And then the flurry of Porsches. But we do have a really great Porsche Cup class for this weekend. 11 cars in that category. So lots of stories to keep an eye out for. Here we are going to be going down to the Vortex garage with Alexandre Urbine
so it's your
shortly.
first qualifying with this Vortex 2.0. We knew you with the Ultimate Formula Cup last year, and now you are in Renault GT Endurance Cup. How was this first qualifying?
It went really great. Also, we compare us to the Gomez brother, who have a great knowledge of the car because they built it. But we put 2 seconds. Comment on dit? Sont 2 secondes derrière nous. They are 2 seconds behind us. So yes, we did a really good quali. We are struggling a bit with some understeer, but it's great for the gentlemen, so they don't have a difficult car. So yeah, we are quite happy.
It's a double weekend because later this night you will be in a prototype with Lamo. Is it challenging to do 2 programs in the same weekend?
Yes, it's a bit challenging because we're on the box number 1 and here on the 11th, so we need to run left, right, but it's great because we always drive and we have not too many too many weights for the session. We are driving beaucoup. Comment on dit beaucoup? Yes, no, it's really great. I like it.
Thank you, Enzo. Thank you for doing it in English for English commentators.
Yes, thank you, Enzo, for that very, very much. That was very kind of him. And now, look, some people might say that he struggled through that. I think he did a cracking job with that one. First flying laps starting in the final part of qualifying. Car number 22, driven by Olivier Gomez and Philippe Bonnell in the 21 car. So they've swapped positions on that outlap somewhere. So it is the co-owner of the Vortex brands who should be the first driver to set a time in this session. Who else have we got? Other Benjamin Puck in the 888 car, their silver graded driver. Romain Favre, another silver graded driver for 2B Autosport, the number 7 car. Jean-Bernard Bouvet, reigning champion aboard the number 1 Vision car. Ulrich Amado, got there eventually, in the 29 Netsuv Porsche. Loctier for GP Racing. Roland Marchi in the number 20 Vortex. Second of their bronze drivers. We saw him out twice for GT Endurance for XP Racing last year. and was second at this race this time last year. Other silver class driver, Benjamin Lessenes for RR Racing, Enzo Juli for Martina by Almaris, and Tiago Monteiro, the former Grand Prix driver, driving the number 18 car. Still rated gold. I think he's got 2 more years left of his gold status before he's automatically downgraded to silver on his 50th birthday. I believe that's still the automatic procedure.
Fast lap coming in here from Jean-Bernard Bouvier. Fastest in the first sector and the second sector rather. See what the third sector is coming across the line. Olivier Gomez sets the fastest third sector. There we go, straight to the top in UCS 1 and overall car number 1, Jean-Bernard Bouvier. The bronze driver sets a 2:02.519, nearly 2.5 seconds quicker than Olivier Gomez in second.
5-time VDV and Ultimate Cup champion, all of which with Jean-Paul Pani. Let's head down to the Chazelle Technology garage, where Alexandre Urbine is looking at some Alpines. Specifically with car number 123, currently being driven by Frédéric de Brabant, and just vacated.
We were with Fred de Brabant later, and now we are with Luca. Luca, how was your qualifying?
Pretty good. I have the Fred warm my tire in Q1, so it's more easy for me. But yeah, my quality was pretty good. Not perfect as always, but really, I was really good in the car. The feeling was pretty good. Sorry.
You know, it's only your first complete season with Chazelle. What will be the main objective of the season?
Win this championship, and I do the Alpha Europa Cup Series in sprint. So win the junior championship in these categories, and win this championship.
Thank you, Luca.
Luca was racing with Frédéric de Brabant in the 6 Hours of Abu Dhabi earlier this year as part of the Middle Eastern Trophy. Didn't quite manage to win the category. They lost out to the sister Chazelle Technology car. Luca's very early in his car racing career. I think it was only last year that he started and stepped away from karts. And stepped up into car racing properly. Number 10, car Mirage Racing, being driven by Lionel Ricard. So he's moved over from the GP Racing team where he ran in Ultimate GT Sprint Cup last year. Now with the Mirage Racing team, which is a new entry for this year. And currently 13th fastest overall, 11th and last of the Porsche runners, sadly. But we do have quite a few of the silver and gold class drivers out there at the moment as well. Another fastest lap last time around by Jean-Bernard Bouvier, 2:01.155 is now the benchmark to beat. And stretching his advantage over Olivier Gomez in the 22 Vortex. This is that number 1 Vision Ferrari 488 GT3 Evo, so still with the turbocharged V8 engine under the hood of that car. Heading up to Virage Dupont. Personal best came in for Tiago Monteiro last time around as well, 2:05.2. but still warming up on that one, I think, because he's currently 5th fastest of the Porsche Cup runners. Debris reported on track at turn 6. That's the long right-hander that then kinks left and leads on to the Mistral. I wouldn't be surprised if that was a result of something. Correction on that, actually. Debris reported at turn 10 at Scene corner. I think that was some rubber. I don't know if we had a problem with tyres in a previous session, but it did look like there were sort of strings of rubber out there that Bouvet was kicking up on that previous lap. Olivier Gomez brought the 22 Vortex into pit lane, so that might be all she wrote for the Vortex. Benjamin Pack, the fastest of the Porsche Cup runners, 3rd overall in the Seb Ligier car. Then Enzo Juli for Martine by Almeras, and then Benjamin Lessenes, with Romain Favre 4th fastest. And then in UCS 4, Frederic de Brabant still putting that 123 car on top in its class, with Gianni Schiabarassi in 94, former Peugeot Spider Cup racer, which I believe was a former V2V series. I can't remember if that was a predecessor to the 206 Cup, but Stéphane Lemeray putting in his first representative time of the session and goes 2nd fastest in the CMR Lamborghini, as into the pits comes Jean-Bernard Bouvet. So it's a 2:03.1, reduces the arrears to Bouvet to 2 seconds in the ultimate lap time.
Plenty coming into the pits now as well. Jean-Bernard Bouvier in. Stéphane Lemeray staying out. Was very fast in Q1, was Stéphane, in the UCS2 class.
Yeah, fastest in Q1, wasn't he? He's not going to improve on this lap, though. Look at the traffic he's got at the Mistral chicane, and it was a personal best in the first sector for the Belgian.
Car number 17 in the way again.
At least that one was down the straight. He was able to get a cheeky little toe there, but certainly the Alpine and the Porsche skating off the road behind it from GP Racing was doing him no favours at all.
No, ooh, very aggressive on that corner. Getting a bit frustrated maybe, being stuck behind the traffic, and now getting a bit of free air.
I tell you, one of the things I'd noticed the first time I properly watched a Super Trofeo car in action was how much it rolls. If you want to learn about how weight transfer on a car works, watch one of these cars, because they dive down under braking, and then when they turn in, the weight all goes to the outside.
So right.
Look at the nosedive when he gets on the anchors.
And they swing round the corners, don't they?
Yeah, it's like watching a 1960s Formula One car.
Yeah.
To see the weight transfer so visibly demonstrated like that.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Feels like they're almost going to lift the 2 wheels up, doesn't it, as they go round corners?
Yeah, like they're going to, like on a go-kart, you know, when you get the outside wheel in the air.
Yeah, got a bit of free air now, though, it has Stéphane Lemeray.
And enough time to put in another he did still improve on that last lap, despite the middle sector. It wasn't a personal best in the middle sector, but 2 personal bests in the other 2 sectors means he's down to a 2:03.0. So still managed to improve. So and there's definitely still time to find in this car.
Still, that second sector was still faster than some of the others out there. Philippe Burrell. Definitely faster than that one down, even though it was a 39.4, it was a 38. So Go on.
Yeah, fourth year, I believe it is now, for Stéphane Lemeray in Super Trofeo Machinery. Made the switch over from GT4 competition in 2022. Actually, did continue to run in French GT4 alongside Super Trofeo, and just did the 6 Hours of Barcelona, the GT Winter Series, the Gedlick racing sort of Trans-Iberian series with Rodrigue Guillon in the CMR Super Trofeo. So he's certainly been up to speed with this car already, and 2 personal bests on this lap so far. And it doesn't look like it's going to be enough to challenge for the top spot in this session, but certainly Stéphane is ensuring that they'll have a very healthy grid position for this race.
Currently, Stéphane Lemeray is nearly 2 seconds behind Jean Bouvier's 201.55. So he's going to cross the line very shortly, is Lemeray. So let's see what he can do. And he is down in the 3rd sector. So 2 personal bests still remains. Managed to take about 4/10 off.
Yeah, 202.5 now for Lemeray. And again, we're talking about one of these bronze drivers who's kind of bronze by default because he's at 51 years of age, because he's been around since the mid-90s. Debuted at the 24 Hours of Spa back in 1996. That's a heck of a place to make your competitive race debut, really. Heck of an event to do so.
Ooh, she's not going to do well. Sorry, hit the bump on the left-hand side of that corner and went wide. I think he was on a bit of a push lap here, but yeah, down in the 1st sector already. So he'll probably just use this one as a bit of a trial lap rather than a push lap now. But yeah, mistake there from Stéphane Lemeray. And you can see he's visibly not pushing as hard anymore.
Oh, remember, it's the average across the 3 sessions that determines the grid for tomorrow's 4-hour race. And so his efforts from Q1 will still play a big part in where they start. Checkered flag is out. Nobody really challenging Jean-Bernard Bouvet's 201.155. Across the line there was the Mirage car of Lionel Rigaud, 10th in Porsche Cup in the end. Hasn't been much change in the order since we last checked in with it, and so with everyone else in pit lane, it is Jean-Bernard Bouvet fastest in Q2, and then the UCS2 Super Trofeo car of Stéphane Lemeray, Olivier Gomez in the Vortex, and then top 3 in Porsche Cup goes to Benjamin Puck in the Seb Lejoux car, Enzo Julie for Martina by Almeres, and then Benjamin Lesnes for RR Racing. UCS4 again being led by the 123 car, Frédéric de Brabant, Gianni Schiabarassi for 94, and then Julien Bouni in the number 19 car, which is the reigning champions in that category. Was UCS Light category last year, the number 19 winning all bar 1 race, which was the final race. That number 19 car starting, not starting, 3rd fastest in that session. So final results then. Jean-Bernard Bouvet fastest in Q3. Stéphane Lemeray and Olivier Gomez, the top 3. Benjamin Puck, Enzo Julie and Benjamin Lesnes leading the field in the Porsche Cup category. Romain Favre, 4th in that class, ahead of Thiago Monteiro and Ulrich Amado. The other 2 Vortexes, Philippe Burel and Roland Marchi. Thiers, Laurine Gaudy. And then Frédéric de Brabant, Gianni Schiabarassi, Julien Bouni and Benoit Poulien. Rounding out the 18-car field. So we will contabulate the averages to set the grid for tomorrow's 4-hour race. Lights out for the 4 hours of Paul Ricard Kennel GT Endurance Cup race at 12:45 tomorrow. So we're qualifying, well,